Hi, so I'm gonna do a talking video. I'm doing this on my nice camera. We're gonna have a little chat. I'm gonna talk about OnlyFans, and then I'm gonna do some topics over the course of the next couple weeks. Today we're doing OnlyFans, and then I'll talk about like maybe my experience with, or my struggle with eating disorders, and then we can go into like my struggle with alcohol, and then like various mental health issues. Honestly, I am truly an open book. I love to overshare. I love to share my experiences as they are. I don't try to hide anything. I've always been pretty open because truly it helps me to be open. I hate being fake, and then I know it helps other people. I know, like, for me personally, it helps when other people are open about their experiences and they're real. Like, why fake it? Honestly, like, I could die tomorrow. What's the point of faking shit? Like, let's just be real. We're all human. We all make mistakes. We've made mistakes, we make mistakes, and we will make mistakes. That's literally a part of being human. And I talk about my mistakes, and I'm not proud of them by any means, but it's literally a part of being human. So I have no shame about them. And I've talked about how I was like toxic in my marriage. I've talked about like the things I did. I talk about my struggles with alcohol. Like, I don't know, I just don't feel like that shame about it. People have tried to make me feel shameful about it for sure. I've noticed that a lot. It's like people project their own insecurities. They project their own shame onto me. And I'm like, whoa. Like even with sex work, like OnlyFans, people project their insecurities about sex onto me. And I'm like, dude, I'm cool with sex. Like I've learned to appreciate my body. I've learned to appreciate sexuality. I've learned to like love that part of myself, you know? So when other people come to me and they're like, nah, 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 I'm like, dude, that's your insecurities. Like that's you projecting shit onto me. And I'm not like, go ahead and do it. But like, it doesn't, whatever. Sorry, I just got on a rant. We're going to talk about OnlyFans. So let me just go straight into it. So I started my OnlyFans, in October of last year. So fairly recently. I was still married. When I started it, I had 30,000 followers on Instagram. I had a recovery Instagram for eating disorders. And I started it as like, I truly can't remember like the reason I started it. I just remember being like, yeah, this will be fun. Maybe some extra side money. I was working 2 waitressing jobs, and it was like the height of COVID, and I was making hardly any money. And I was like, yeah, sure, let's do like this extra thing. I wasn't like, I don't know, I wasn't like expecting it to go anywhere by any means. It was just an extra thing. So when I first started, I gained like 50 subscribers. I was making like $300 a month, and I was elated. I was just like, I remember telling my ex-husband, I was like, $300, like that's grocery money for the month. Like this is awesome. And we were just like, I was excited. I don't know what he was feeling, but I was excited and you know, whatever. And it was just like this little thing. It was just this little thing at that time. And then I ended up leaving my husband. I was still working 2 waitressing jobs. I moved into my apartment. The rent was like really high for me. And I was like working my ass off at these 2 waitressing jobs, but was hardly making any money. And then I had my OnlyFans, which was only bringing in like $300 a month max. And yeah, I had my dog, and I couldn't afford, so I had no time to take care of my dog. I wasn't able to afford rent. Like I couldn't pay for my dog's food. I could hardly pay for myself. I was really struggling with alcohol at the time. Things were just like a shit show at that point in my life. And that's when I moved into my car. Like I ended up having to break my lease, and I moved into my car. I had to rehome my dog as well, which by the way, Hoagie's doing really great. I follow my dog on Instagram. She's in a super loving home. That was truly the best thing I could have ever done for her, was rehome my dog. Really sad, but I'm also really grateful to myself for doing, that's a whole nother topic. So anyway, I moved into my car. I had like $1,500 to my name. Like that's all the money I had, and I felt solid with that. I was like, cool. I was in my Honda Element. I drove straight to Florida, and at that time I signed up for computer science school because I needed a job. I knew that. I was like, I need something, and my brother said, sign up for computer science. It's super stable. You can do this boot camp. You'll finish it super quick. You'll get a job right away. blah, blah, blah. So I signed up and I was like, I don't care if I like it or not. I'm just fucking doing it because I need a steady job. I just knew that. I just needed a steady job. I needed money. I didn't want to live in my car forever. So that was the plan. So I signed up for computer science school and I drove to Florida because it was warm. I still had my OnlyFans, was bringing in like $300 a month, I think around there. And that was fine. I was like, this is perfect. It'll pay for my gas and my food. Like, I was eating peanut butter and jellies every day, and I was like, whatever, this is great. And then I made a TikTok one day. It was like a month into living in my car. I was doing laundry, and I made a TikTok of me living in my car, and that TikTok ended up blowing up. Like, it just blew up overnight. And then I just continued making TikToks, and inevitably someone asked, they were like, how do you make money? And I said, well, I have an OnlyFans that brings in enough for gas and food. So I said that in a video, and people subscribed to my OnlyFans from there. Like, I remember that day I made that video. I was like, yeah, I have this OnlyFans, and I gained like 100-something subscribers that day. And I was like, that was more than I'd ever had in my whole career for OnlyFans. And I was like, oh my God, like, that was wild. I was like, shit, this is like, this is so helpful, right? Like, I don't have to just eat peanut butter and jellies, or like, I don't have to worry about like buying gas, you know? So that was cool. And I continued making TikToks, of course. And then I started computer science school, and I was doing computer science, and my TikToks and my OnlyFans was just slowly growing. Like, it was not, I say slowly, it grew very fast, very quickly, similar to my TikTok, the way my TikTok blew up. And I was in computer science. I remember I was sitting there learning coding. I was like crying in the bathroom in Panera like every single day because I hated coding so much. I was really struggling, and I was just like, what am I doing? Like, I had made enough money at that point for me to be okay financially to like support myself while living in my car for a decent amount of time. So I was like, computer science is not what I ever wanted to do. This was just like, I signed up for computer science out of necessity because I didn't have money. But now I have money, and now I can afford, like, I have some time to figure out what I actually want to do. Does that make sense? So I dropped out because I was like, this is stupid. Because even if I finished the boot camp, which was causing me so much grief, even if I finished that, I didn't want to do computer science anyway. So I dropped out. I paid off the loan that I got for school, which, by the way, I don't think I've ever mentioned this in a TikTok. I don't think I've mentioned this anywhere, but they refunded me the full amount of the tuition for that boot camp. They refunded me the full amount. It was so random, out of the blue. They emailed me and they were like, we're so sorry your experience was the way it was. Apparently a lot of people complained about the teacher, and they ended up refunding the people who dropped out. And I was like, that was recent. That was like a month ago. And I don't think I said anything about it, but that was a big deal. Anyway, that's off topic. So anyway, I dropped out and I made OnlyFans like my main priority. And it's now my full-time job. And it's wild because I never intended for OnlyFans to be my full-time job. That was never what I set out for that to be. But it is now my full-time job. I'm on there, I would say, like 8 hours a day, messaging, creating content. I love creating content on there. I love photos, and I love taking photos, so especially like self-portraits and stuff. I love the control I have with that. I love editing. I love the artisticness of like bodies and stuff. So that part is truly, I love that about OnlyFans. I love messaging. As far as like the sex work part of it goes, I truly think I'm kind of bad at it, because I grew up religious. I never was like, I wasn't allowed to watch porn. I was a virgin when I got married. I was a virgin. So like I didn't do sex, you know? Sex was like a shameful thing for me growing up. And so it wasn't until recently when I started to embrace sex and sexuality. So yeah, I'm still learning how to not be awkward with sex. Like, I watch porn purely for research purposes. Like this is kind of weird. Like no, it's not weird to talk about, but yeah, I'll like watch porn just to like see how to like be like, you know, because I don't know, I don't have much experience with it, and I'm learning like how to embrace it's been a beautiful process for me, like learning. It's been kind of hard because it's so public. It's like a public embracing of my sexuality and exploring myself, but it's also kind of beautiful because I message people every day who are exploring their sexuality along with me. Like so many women, men, like it's kind of beautiful, and I really love it. So yeah, and I only do things that are comfortable for me. That's something I've learned. I learned pretty early on not to push myself to do things I'm uncomfortable with, because trust me, like people ask for the craziest things and things I'm super, super uncomfortable with. And at first I would do them, and it brought me so much, like it just wasn't, I quickly realized it's not what I want to do. So now I only do things that I'm comfortable with. I do things that bring me pleasure. I'm exploring things that I like, and I'm sharing that through OnlyFans, and it's really cool. So yeah, and I realized like a couple months ago, 3 months ago, I was like, people can find porn anywhere. Like porn is free. Like you can go out and watch a porn star or whatever. And I think for a bit I was like trying to become a porn star. I was trying to like copy them or whatever. And then I realized, I was like, no, you can find porn for free anywhere. Like people subscribe to me for me. Like I'm me, not a porn star. Like I do things authentically, and I'm real, and I'm exploring my sexuality. I do things that bring me pleasure. I'm not like putting on a show or like theatrics, you know? So I realized that, and that's been really helpful for me, because it's like, okay, I can just like be myself, and people subscribe for that, not for just like a porn star. You know what I'm saying? So that was a cool realization for me. But let's transition into like a different aspect of this, like the cons, because I never want to just straight up glamorize this whole thing, because it's not glamorous. I really do try to focus on the positive, because that's just how I like to live my life. And plus it's my job. Like I don't know, I'm not gonna like speak negatively of it. But let's go in like objectively. There are a lot of negative parts about this type of job. There are negative parts about this industry, and I think we all know that. We all know like the sex industry is not sunshine and rainbows. Yeah, let's get into it. I get treated like an object every day, like very, very rude people who demand things from me and treat me like a piece of meat. So that's a thing. I've learned to just like, whatever. My nudes have been sent to my family in the mail. Yeah, that was a fucking thing that happened. I met with my mom one day, and we got coffee, and at the end of the meeting she was like, by the way, and she told me, and I just broke down. Like, what? Who in their right mind does that? Who sends someone's nudes to their parents? Like, I cannot fathom the mental state that person is in. Anyway, my nudes have been leaked. My nudes are being sold. You know, like you kind of have to be okay. I've learned to literally just be okay with it. At first, it was heartbreaking. I cried for weeks about it at first. It was just like heartbreaking. Like I was so angry. I was gonna hire like a private investigator, blah, 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 blah. And then, you know, I talked to some other sex workers, and I like just realized it's literally part of the industry. And, you know, I have to say this. I get like 50 to 100 messages a day from people asking about how they can start their own OnlyFans. They want tips and tricks. They want to know how to start one anonymously. And I'm like, dude, it's really hard, first of all, to start one anonymously. I think it's almost impossible to do that. Like, you have to show your face, unless you have like the wildest body. I don't even know how you would do it. I mean, I guess it maybe happens, but like, yeah, it's literally if you blow up, like you just expect like your nudes to be leaked. Like that's just what happens, unfortunately. So I've learned to be okay with that. That was a hard pill to swallow, but I was just like, all right, it literally happens to everyone. And then let me think of some other, oh fuck, I just had a brain fart. Not mind fart, brain fart. Oh my God, I was gonna go into something else. Oh, okay, yeah. To blow up, people are asking about how to, not blow up, but to get followers on OnlyFans. You have to have a separate social media platform. So before my TikTok blew up, I told you I was not successful on OnlyFans. Like, I mean, I thought I was successful at the time, but like, you know, $300 a month. And I had 30,000 followers on Instagram. So that's what I was making. And yeah, so it wasn't until my TikTok blew up that my OnlyFans blew up. So what was I saying? You have to have a separate social media platform, whether it be TikTok, Instagram, Reddit is a really big one. I was on Reddit for a while. You can talk to other creators on Reddit, and I remember giving like free subscriptions to other creators, and we would like each other's photos, support each other in that way. Twitter's a really big one. There's a lot of creators on Twitter. So like, you know, people blow up on those social media platforms and then they get subscribers. Nobody is just like scrolling on OnlyFans and like finds you. You have to be like somewhere else for them to find you. Does that make sense? So yeah. Let me think of anything else. I feel like I need a Q&A. I wish this was like a live so I could answer some questions, but I think I covered everything. Like, I just want to say, like, I love my job. I love what it's afforded me to do. Like, it allows me, I don't work a 9 to 5, you know, it's beautiful. I get to like live a flexible lifestyle. I get to do amazing things. I get to, you know, I get to live comfortably. It's awesome. But there are a lot of, it's been very traumatic to be completely honest. And I've had many therapy sessions where I'm just like crying about the things that have happened to me. But, you know, I'm grateful for it at the same time. And I love everyone I talk to. I love exploring my sexuality too. Like I said, I grew up religious. I got married very young. I was a virgin. I never like embraced my sexuality. So now I feel like I get to do all of those things, and it's really cool because I get to do it with other people sort of. So yeah, what else did I want to say about this? I think that's it. Yeah, if you have any questions, damn, I really wish this was like a live so I could just answer them right now. But I guess you can leave them in the comments and I could maybe make a part 2 answering questions, like an OnlyFans Q&A. I think that would be good. Okay. I really feel like I had something else to say. Recently, I've been seeing comments where people, I think they're trying to make me feel bad. They're like, she doesn't have a real job. She doesn't work. How pathetic. And I'm like, really? Like, are you trying to make me feel bad? Because I love that I don't have a real job. Like, I truly, why would I want a real job? I'm making good money and I don't sit at a desk all day. Like, I don't know why they make those comments because they kind of sound stupid. Anyway, that's what I wanted to say. It's not a traditional job, but it's still a job. Like, I pay taxes, so it's still a fucking job, but it's not a traditional job, and I love that. I love that a lot. That's where I wanted to end it. If you have any questions, just comment them, and then I will make a part 2 doing like a Q&A. Does that sound good? All right, cool. And then next videos will probably be about more mental health stuff like that. Or yeah, you can comment like what kind of videos you would want to see next, because I'm totally down to do these talking videos, like 100%. I like these. I feel like I'm hanging out with someone, sharing my little story. Okay, peace out.